People think you delete your posts because you changed your mind. That's not why. You delete them because you posted something real, and then you panicked. You hit publish, you felt exposed, and 3 minutes later, you were back, reading your own words like a crime scene, looking for the thing that was going to get you. And you found it, you always find it. So you deleted it, and you told yourself it wasn't good enough. You told yourself the timing was off. You told yourself you'd repost it later better, when you were ready. You never reposted it. This isn't about perfectionism. Perfectionism is a word people use when they want to make avoidance sound like a standard. This is about something older than that. Here's what's actually happening. You wrote something. It came from somewhere real, an opinion, an observation, a moment you actually lived. And the second it left your hands and became visible to other people, it stopped being yours. It became evidence of what you think, evidence of who you are, evidence that could be used against you. And you couldn't tolerate that, so you destroyed the evidence. The behavioral pattern is this: post, spike of vulnerability, scroll away, come back, read through someone else's eyes, someone critical, someone disappointed, someone waiting to catch you being wrong, and then delete. The time between posting and deleting is usually under 2 hours. Sometimes it's under 10 minutes. You know this. You've done enough times to know the exact feeling. That crawling sensation of overexposure. Like you said, something too loud in a room that was too quiet. And here's what you tell yourself after. It just wasn't the right post. But that's not true, is it? The post before that one wasn't right either. The one before that. The draft you never published last Tuesday, that wasn't right. Nothing is ever right. Because right is not the actual criterion. The actual criteria are safe. And you can never be safe enough to post. Let's name what's underneath this. There's a version of you that learned very early that visibility was dangerous. Maybe you said something at the wrong moment, and the room went cold. Maybe you got excited about something, and someone important to you made you feel stupid for it. Maybe you were the kid who raised their hand and got it wrong in front of everyone, and that one moment calcified into a rule you've been living by ever since. Don't let them see you before you're certain. The problem is you're never certain, so you never post, or you post, and you pull it back, or you publish, then spend the next 6 hours checking for signs that it was a mistake. This is not a content strategy problem. This is an exposure tolerance problem, and it is running your entire relationship with your own voice. There's a cognitive pattern called the spotlight effect, the documented, studied tendency to believe that other people are noticing you far more than they actually are, that your typo, your opinion, your slightly awkward phrasing is being cataloged by everyone who scrolls past it. They are not cataloging it. They forgot it before they finish reading it. But you remember it. You will remember it 2 a.m. 4 days from now. You will cringe at it in the shower. You will think about it while you're eating lunch. They moved on. You never did. And so the deletion becomes a ritual, not a cleanup, ritual. Every time you delete a post, you are performing the same action your nervous system has been performing your whole life when it perceives a threat. Disappear before they can judge you. The ritual says, if it doesn't exist, it can't be used against me. The ritual says, if no one saw it, it never happened. The ritual says, stay small, stay draftable, stay unpublished. Here's what the ritual costs you. Every post you delete is a data point you never collected. You don't know how people would have responded. You don't know if your thinking resonated. You don't know what conversation it might have started. You canceled the experiment before it ran. And so you stay in the same loop, convinced you're not ready, with no evidence either way, because you burned the evidence. You are making a permanent decision about your voice based on a temporary feeling about your exposure. That is not a strategy. That is self-erasure. And the drafts folder. Let's talk about the drafts folder. You have posts in there that you wrote weeks ago, maybe months, a take you actually believed in, something personal that felt important when you wrote it, a story from your own life that could actually help someone, sitting in drafts, because it's not ready. The drafts folder is not a creative workspace. The drafts folder is a graveyard for the things you weren't willing to be seen saying. And you visit it sometimes, don't you? You open it, read what's in there, think this is actually good, and then close it and go do something else. Because publishing it would make it real. And real means visible. And visible means vulnerable. And vulnerable means something might happen that you cannot control. Here's the thing about control. The deletion gives you the feeling of control. You hit that button, the post disappears, the exposure ends. Crisis managed. But you haven't actually controlled anything except your own visibility. The opinion you had is still your opinion. The experience you wrote about still happened. The thought you put into words is still the thought you have. You didn't undo the thinking. You just made sure no one else could see it. The control is an illusion. You're not managing your image. You're managing your anxiety. And the anxiety doesn't go away. It just resets, waiting for the next time you try to exist in public. Now here's the part where I'm not going to tell you to go post something brave right now. You've heard that before. Just do it. Ship it. Done is better than perfect. And every time you hear it, you feel a flash of motivation, and then nothing changes, because the problem was never that you lacked encouragement. The problem is that your nervous system has been trained, through enough real or perceived moments of social punishment, to treat visibility as a threat. You can't logic your way out of that with a motivational line. But here's what you can do. Find one post you deleted in the last 30 days. Don't repost it. Don't analyze whether it was good. Just read it and ask yourself one question. Was I trying to say something true? Not perfect, not profound, not optimized. True. If the answer is yes, and it probably is, because that's why you posted it before you panicked, then write down what it was about. One sentence. What was the true thing I was trying to say? That's it. You don't have to publish it again. You just have to stop pretending the deletion was about quality. Because the moment you're honest about what the deletion was actually about, you stop being a person who disappears under pressure and start being a person who understands the pressure. That's the shift. It doesn't happen in the feed. It happens in the honest accounting of why you keep pulling yourself back from the edge. Your voice is not the problem. Your relationship with being witnessed is the problem. And that is fixable, not by posting more bravely, by understanding that the person who needs to stop judging your posts first is you. Subscribe. What comes next is about the other ways you make yourself invisible and how to stop.